everybody! So recently I was tagged by my friend the Lawn Gnome, and he did the May the Force Be With You Volume 2 tag all about Star Wars for Star Wars Day last week. And so I thought it'd be fun not only to answer his questions from the first tag, but the second tag as well. And so we're going to get down nitty gritty when it comes to Star Wars. And so the first question is, how many of the Star Wars films have you seen in theaters so far? And I've seen 6. Revenge of the Sith came out when I was on my mission, so I did not see that in theaters. I actually didn't see that until last fall, because I just didn't like Attack of the Clones so much at the time. So, number 2, what action sequence in any of the films is your favorite? And it's a little bit hard, like, what is meant by action. Like, I think, honestly, the best fighting is in Force Awakens. The lightsaber battles, they don't look choreographed, they look more earthy, they look more guttural, they're just longer, they're more intense than anything that you get in the original trilogy, and in my opinion, they're much better than anything you get in the prequels, which to me look much more choreographed and flipping and moving around and things like that, which to me isn't as interesting as something that's a little more earthy and grounded. But if you're talking about space action, like if you're talking about fighting sort of in space, then I think the best is in Return of the Jedi, the Battle of Endor. I think is the best sort of action sequence. Okay, then the next is, given a chance to own a droid in the real world, what kind would you like? I would like a BB-8. I love BB-8 so much. Even if he just like thumbs up to me every day, that would be enough. That's all I need. Okay, which score piece do you feel fits the scene perfectly? I love the Imperial March, but I just love the first original Star Wars theme that, you know, the crawl comes on. There's just nothing like it's just so fun. Okay, next is, which Star Wars actor role outside Star Wars do you like the most? Definitely Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones, minus number 4. Which expanded universe character, canon or non-canon, do you wish to see on the big screen? For me, I would say Ahsoka from Star Wars Rebels, and I think she's also in Clone Wars. I love that character. I think she's really complex. I think she's an interesting backstory with working with Anakin, but also, you know, trying to kind of change. And I don't know, she's just a great character. I would love to see her in the live action version of Ahsoka. Plus, I think even we got a good one with Rey, but I think it would be great to even have more great female characters within the Star Wars world, and she's one that's really great. Next is, if you could recast one character in the films, who would you replace with him or her? And I think it's really easy to say Hayden Christensen because he's not very good, but I don't think that anybody could have sold the sand line or some of those horrible dialogue. And so I'm going to say, actually, I would replace Samuel L. Jackson because he just seems lazy. He doesn't seem the right character. He doesn't seem like the right actor for his character. I would get somebody with a little more gravitas, a little bit more weight to him. It would be somebody like Morgan Freeman, I think, would be better to play Mace Windu than Samuel L. Jackson. You know, him getting the purple lightsaber, it just doesn't seem like he's taking it all that seriously for the lore and everything that is Star Wars. Okay, next is, which character do you feel left us too soon? I would say Count Dooku in the Revenge of the Sith, because he'd actually like developed into a semi-decent villain by the end of Attack of the Clones, and then to have him killed off right at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith was such a surprise to me. And you have a great actor like Christopher Lee, and you replace Christopher Lee for some Grievous, for some whatever he is. The question is, what is your honest opinion of the Family Guy Blue Harvest trilogy? I haven't seen it. I'm not a big Family Guy person. Just not my style of humor. What is your favorite alien species and why? And although the holiday special kind of ruined them, I think Chewbacca is my favorite. He's so loyal. It's such a loyal species, and if you forget about Life Day, then it's a really, really good group of people. Even in the third movie, they're brave, and I don't know. So I go with Chewbacca, the Wookiees. Question: which planet in the entire Star Wars galaxy would you want to live on? You got to go with Cloud City on Bespin. It just looks really beautiful, and it looks like they have all these beautiful places to eat and all these beautiful places to. It looks like you got Lando as your mayor. I mean, things are doing pretty good. Cloud City. Okay. Do you feel the Star Wars Star Trek rivalry serves a purpose today? Not really. I think rivalries are kind of stupid. You just have to accept things for what they are. But I say that, and I've really only seen one Star Trek thing in my life. I've not watched any of the show or shows, and I've only seen the 2009, I think it was, movie, and I enjoyed that. I thought it was pretty good. So I'm not really that invested in Star Trek. So next, how did you discover Star Wars? And that was from my sister, actually. She got into it, and that kind of got me into it. I was never as into it as she was in high school, but then they did the re-releases, and I just was blown away by the re-releases, and so, yeah, that's kind of where it went from there. Okay, then next is, what was the first Star Wars film you saw in theaters? And that was the original Star Wars. I saw it in the re-release. They did them, I think, in a series before Phantom Menace. And yeah, I saw it, and it was one of the best experiences I've ever had until Force Awakens. It was the best theater experience that I have ever had in my life. It was just everybody was cheering, everybody was dressed up, it was great. Okay, next is, who is your favorite Star Wars character and actor? And it's really tough. I love so many of the Force Awakens characters, but I mean, it's probably Han and Harrison Ford, but I'll just say I think also Luke and Mark Hamill are just he's so great. It's his journey, his hero's journey. What is your favorite lightsaber battle? And that is definitely Force Awakens, the lightsaber battle at the end. I think it actually feels like a rod of fire. It feels like it's hot, and I never got that feeling from any lightsaber battle. It always just looked kind of like sort of a disco trick, kind of, a little bit. They were always sort of short, or in the prequels, to me, they looked too choreographed, where this felt more earthy, it felt more real to me, and so to me, it's better. What is your favorite installment of the Star Wars score? And that was Empire Strikes Back. You get the Imperial March. It's perfect. Okay. Next is, what is your most hated character? I think everyone agrees, Jar Jar. And come on. Next, what is your favorite chapter in the Star Wars expanded universe? I've only read one of Star Wars books. Rebels, I don't know, I guess expanded universe, I don't know what counts as what, but I love Star Wars Rebels. I'm a huge fan. But as far as books, I read Lords of the Sith, and I really liked it. You get into Darth Vader's head a little bit more with the Emperor, sort of when he is at his most ruthless and getting to deal with the rebels, and it really gives you a flavor for where he's at the beginning of New Hope, or the original Star Wars. Do you own anything Star Wars outside of the films, and what is your favorite? Yeah, I have a whole bunch of Funko Pops. I'll show you. So I have a lightsaber somewhere, and I have some other stuff too. But I have Rey, which is awesome. I love Rey. I will defend her till I'm blue in the face. She's an awesome character. And then I have Ben Kenobi. This one is a Smuggler's Bounty exclusive, which is awesome. This is old Ben Kenobi. Then this is the fighter pilot. And then, oh, it got bent. I have Finn. This is Red Snaggletooth. And then I have Han Solo in snow gear. It's also an exclusive. This is a loot crate. And then I have this awesome Chewbacca. And this Chewbacca has like fur, which is pretty awesome. From Force Awakens, you see him with that kind of gun that he has. So I think that this is my favorite of all. This Chewbacca is just so cool. So yeah, there you go. Have you ever dressed up as a Star Wars character, and who was it? And I dressed up as Leia for the Force Awakens premiere, and it was really fun. So there you go. Okay, and then what is your favorite quote from the films? I love in Empire Strikes Back, there's a lot of great quotable moments in Empire Strikes Back. Of course, there is no try, do or do not. You know, that one's great. But I also love when when Yoda is trying to convince Luke to have faith, and he gets the ship out of the swamp, and Luke says, I can't believe it. And Yoda says, and that is why you fail. And I think that that is a really, really good moment. You know, he just doesn't have faith in what he can't see. What is your favorite Star Wars reference in pop culture? And I was a huge How I Met Your Mother fan, and there's tons of How I Met Your Mother Star Wars moments. And one of my favorites is when Stella is watching Star Wars for the first time, and Ted is telling Marshall that she has never watched it before, and Marshall says, the only people who haven't seen Star Wars are the people who were in Star Wars, and that's because they lived the Star Wars. I just think that's so funny, and like watching Ted watch Stella watch it, and that's such a relatable emotion. Like when you have that movie that's really important to you and you really want the person that you love to also like it, it's such like a tense experience, like, oh, please like it, please like it, please. Who would you love to see appear in the brand new Star Wars trilogy? And gosh, you know, it just depends on the parts. It's so hard. They did such a good job with casting, but I think that I would like to see, I think Alicia Vikander. I mean, I would just like to see even more strong women. I think Charlize Theron, I'd love to see her be in there somewhere. That is all of the questions. Holy cow, that's a lot. So let me know what your answers would be. And the Lawn Gnome tagged everybody. So if there's not that many left, I don't think he tagged, I'm trying to think who else is a big Star Wars fan. I'll tag Nels Danburg. I don't know how big a Star Wars fan he is, but I'll tag him. And I will tag, I don't know if he tagged Joe Tufano. If he did, I'll re-tag him. But so I will tag Nels and I'll tag Joe Tufano. Go ahead and do either one. You can do both. You can do one. Whatever. Do the Star Wars tag and have a lot of fun doing it. So thanks so much, and may the Force be with you.